how many times Tesla had like a $10 left in its bank account, and it had to get injections, had to find new investors coming in. What do you call it? Ponzi. All right. But it turns out not be the Ponzi because it just buys the company time so that it can build something valuable, build some values out of this, right? That's why the startup game is like, it's a risky game, right? Are you going to, you have this Ponzi economics going on at the beginning process of your growth, but at the end of the day, what determines whether it's a Ponzi or not is whether something sustainably value added is going to come out of this process. You ask yourself, if Ethereum has a layer 2 that is cheap and fast, let's say it's as cheap and as fast as Avalanche or as, I don't know, Harmony, are you going to say, wow, Ethereum finally made it, I'm going to rush back to Ethereum? You think about how you would behave in that scenario, okay? I'm here, I'm already using Solana, I'm using Avalanche, I'm pretty comfortable. And now you want me to go back to the to essentially a new chain.
I'm in Southeast Asia, a part of the world where GameFi, blockchain games, NFT games have exploded over the past 9 months. And I'm curious about this. You wrote something very interesting about a lot of these games that, because of the way the game has been built, it rewards it in a way that may not be as sustainable. I want to dig in deeper to your thoughts and insights on that, and how could this become I think a better ecosystem once all of these things that need to be addressed and fixed would happen as well.
I wrote a while ago specifically about AXIE Infinity and why I think the token economics is not very sustainable. Because you go into AXIE Infinity, you buy 3 AXIEs, you start playing the games. Why are you playing the games? Because you want to earn the smooth love potion, right?
Yep.
And you earn the smooth love potion to breed AXIEs, and so that you can sell the AXIEs. Who do you sell the AXIEs to? You sell them to the new players. Because you already have 3 AXIEs. How many AXIEs do you need? You have 3, you can play. Unless you have a guild and you hire other people to play, or you are such a big AXIE fan, you just do this, all day long. You're like, I want to have as many AXIEs as possible. You just keep buying AXIEs. But you see, like for the average player, you have a few AXIEs, that's quite enough, right? You earn a token, you breed the AXIEs, you sell the AXIEs. Who do you sell the AXIEs to? You sell them to the new players. That means the system needs it disproportionately, high percentage of new players flowing into the system in order for this flow to work. You can think about, oh, maybe, it's not that bad. Maybe, you have guilds, you bring so many new people in, and the new people, they earn some money, they can buy their own AXIEs, they create new demand. Yeah. But that does not change the fundamental mechanism. It's like, this is a design that requires constantly new people coming in to support your demand for new AXIEs. Personally, I don't think it's a good game. It's just not fun. At least, it's not fun to me. What's going to make it sustainable? What's going to make a GameFi or game sustainable is people need to have incentive to play it other than the money.
Totally.
And what is that incentive? It's a game, it needs to be fun. You shouldn't need any monetary incentive to play a game if it's fun. Yeah. So, because that is a utility that people consume in itself, right? Why do you play a game? Because it's fun. That's a reward in itself. That is an end utility. If it's a product, that is the value proposition. At the end of the day, it's just make the game fun. And then make the token economics not get in the way. I think that could be that would be quite sufficient. Things like DeFi Kingdom got quite a bit of traction quite quickly. There you can argue there is there is a Ponzi element going on because people going in with mixed incentive too. I go in, I like the design, I like the game aspect, but I also like making money, right? So it's a mixed incentive. It's better because there are people who are actually quite obsessed about summoning and getting their heroes to do different kinds of things in DeFi Kingdoms. That is more sustainable already. They have this token, which is like the jewel token. You actually have to spend this jewel token in doing things in the system. So you can imagine a scenario, even if this system does not have new players coming in, as long as the existing players, they're into this thing, they want to keep playing, that means they're going to keep spending the in-game token. That creates a underlying support for the demand for the in-game token. All of these crypto things, there is a Ponzi element, you can say, but you can say this about, but it's not black and white. It's a spectrum of grays, right? Basically, every startup is a Ponzi, because you think about what startups do, right? You don't have enough traction yet. You have to keep yourself afloat. That means you have to have new money coming in to support you, to pay your vendors, pay your employees, and to keep building it until someday you build enough value so that you can be self-sustaining. But are you going to succeed doing this? It's an open question, right? If it doesn't succeed, everybody would say, ha, that's a Ponzi. That's why people say Theranos is a Ponzi. The Elizabeth Holmes, is that what's her name? Elizabeth Holmes, right? That blood testing lady. She had this claim that her blood testing is so great, but it's actually not so great. It's still a work in progress. And she had to keep going and keep attracting new money into this. And she failed because she didn't have a product at the end of the day to show for. That's why people call it a Ponzi at the end of the day. But you think about a bazillion other startups. You think about Tesla. All right? How many times Tesla had like a $10 left in its bank account? And it had to get injections, had to find new investors coming in. What do you call it? Ponzi. All right? But it turns out not being a Ponzi because it just buys the company time so that it can build something valuable, build some values out of this, right? That's why the startup game is like, it's a risky game, right? Are you going to, you have this Ponzi economics going on at the beginning process of your growth, but at the end of the day, what determines whether it's a Ponzi or not is whether something sustainably value added is going to come out of this process.
Taking a look at DeFi Kingdoms, from my perspective, it looks like DeFi that it's a bit fun in a sense that you get to do something and then get a yield on top of it. And I just want to end this entire conversation with you with this, knowing what you know right now and looking at it from a macro perspective. There's a lot of volatility in the markets, in the entire crypto space, regardless if it's NFTs or tokens or coins altogether. In the midst of the volatility, what's your frame of mind? What are you currently doing or thinking? What's your attitude towards the volatility, regardless if it's your favorite coin or token or not? Are you the type of person that takes on the volatility head on, that it's lower, it's cheaper right now, it's time for me to accumulate more, or it's a bit risky, I don't think it's something that's relatively good right now, I'll just stay in the sidelines?
For me, I'm not very good at market timing. I'm trying to get better. It's like a personal growth project, but I'm not good. So to me, so I think it's, you got to think about what your strengths are. Are you good at reading charts? Or are you going better at doing fundamental research? To me, I'm way better in doing fundamental research compared to reading charts. My outlook on this year is the whole market probably not going to grow a whole lot, okay? But there will be significant rotations and pockets of growth. It is going to rotate because when the whole market is not growing a whole lot, money is still not coming in, right? So kind of holding the fort on the bigger tokens to support additional funding, keep flowing into smaller projects, then you're going to see significant rotation. So I would say, for me, the strategy would be keep looking for where the next growth areas are. And for this year, I think the significant growth areas will be blockchain gaming and interoperability multi-chain solutions. Because we have all these blockchain gaming, because that's the next growth point for end users, aside from DeFi and NFT. That's going to draw additional users into crypto. And in interoperability, because you have so many chains now and people want to jump around, and it's become an increasing need to do so. And projects want to be on multiple chains. So these solutions got to be more important. And obviously you look into these layer ones and layer twos. There are new ones coming up. You can look at whether there's something interesting going on in those newer ones as well. So, but these will be the three areas that we'll be looking at as a new growth point for this year, and looking at new projects into them and so on and so forth. But because the overall market is volatile, I would keep, just try to keep some dry powders. You don't have to 100% fully loaded, with all the capital you can spend, right? So since we may see volatility potentially a lot, you have some cash on hand that you can deploy. It's probably not a bad idea. That would be my current thinking on this.
When you say dry powder, you're parking it in stable coins or back to fiat first before waiting for something to happen? And the reason why I ask that is there's so much concerns right now about a lot of the stable coins that are out there, that a lot of people are concerned leaving it there for a stretched period of time.
I don't have a strong opinion about that. If that keeps you up at night, you probably should shift it back to fiat. You shouldn't feel bad about it, right? Because it's otherwise, what's the point? You shift to stable because you want to have the fund available there so that you can deploy when you want to. If you don't feel good about leaving them in stablecoin, then don't leave them in stablecoin. It's less of a question about how safe they actually are. It's how they make you feel.
Any final words to people who are watching this, and to everyone? Please follow Tascha on Twitter, and she also has a YouTube channel and her website, Tascha Labs. You'll learn so much from her. You'll get a lot of insight that's so valuable. And if you want to, I really believe, research more and learn more about this entire new space and technology, Tascha's website is something that will benefit you a lot. So subscribe, follow her, listen to what she has to say, because what she says, in my opinion, really has weight.
Don't think of crypto as a get out of the jail free card. Think of it as part of your long-term investment, and think of it as, don't. The focus shouldn't be, when is this cycle top so that I can get out. Going forward, the market is deeper, more money flowing in, which means you're going to see shallower cycles, but maybe longer cycles if there are cycles at all. But really, this is an exponential trend for the next 10, 15 years. And you want to be in this. You don't want to be like, I'm going to make some quick money for next 6 months and then I'm going to leave forever. Why would you do that? Knowing that this is a field going to grow exponentially next 10, 15 years. So try to have some, long-term thinking you don't have to squeeze every drop of return out of the market in the next 6 months.
Thank you so much, Tasha. And to everyone watching this, I hope you got something from this. And the main goal of videos like this is to cause you to think, to cause you to research, and to never ever buy something because you hear it off of YouTube. Please, it's your money, it's your responsibility. You have to take the time to do your own due diligence, because like what Tasha said, it's really hard work. It's really taking the time to build the conviction on what project or token or NFT that you would really want to enter in. So Tasha, it's an honor to have you here. And to everyone, if you guys have questions, feel free to put it in the comment section below. And I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon. God bless you all.